on. Now the Supreme Court has told, has asked for media personnels to set up guidelines to stop media trials.
Yeah. And
They've told the government to set up guidelines for media to stop media trials of people on their own.
And I think the Supreme Court is absolutely right, and they said that this kind of media trials, they deflect you from the, they deflect you from the course of jurisdiction, because we tend to create opinions, out of the limited information that we have, and Supreme Court has said this to the media, that don't share half-baked information with media as well. They have asked the cops, and they have referred to the 2010 advisory, that 2010 guidelines warn the police against unnecessary release of the details in the first 48 hours of the crime. So don't go out doing a press conference and don't give out half-baked information. Let the case get cleared out, have the details ironed out first of all, then go to the media, because public opinions, when you create public opinions, it's just a matter of time that even if Supreme Court has the right facts, if they give a hearing, if they give an order that is not going, that the public doesn't understand, then there is no point in that. The justice doesn't feel like justice. So I think Supreme Court was just correct and apt to say that right to free speech is there.
The credibility of the media as well, Nancy. I mean, that is something that the entire industry has to work on. Certainly, Godi media is that one word that just keeps, thrown across.
Yeah.
You go across in a public gathering and people start asking what you do, what do you do, what do you do, what do you do, and then you tell them you're a journalist, and the next word that comes across to you, and the looks you get. Of course, you're absolutely right. No matter how hard you toil inside the newsroom to put across, a non-biased report out, you're just simply put in that category. But that's not going to break our resolve, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Not here at News9. We're going to continue to bring you top-notch journalism, because that's what we do. On the other hand, coming back to the story, you think it's a welcome step. Now, what kind of guidelines can the government create here? Couldn't this be another way for the government to curb the voice of the media again?
I mean, definitely.
It's going to be a sensitive parlay.
Yeah, because media, we are talking about media here. It's the fourth pillar of democracy. It stands with the government, it's independent of the government, and now you're asking.
The watchdog of democracy.
Yeah, and now the Supreme Court is asking, media trials cannot, we have to be very careful with the media trials, don't share the information with them. But again, it comes to that everybody has right to information. And, we can say that the bench has said that all DGPs in a month should communicate to Ministry of Home Affairs their suggestions for the guidelines of National Human Rights Commission, suggesting one may also be taken. So now they are going to have a proper committee set up. They are going to give a proper set of guidelines to the cops and to the people who are involved, whoever is involved in the case. This kind of information can only go out. If you are not sure about the information, if there is a half-baked information, you cannot share it with the media, because then the media is tend to take that information, create an opinion out of it, and then going to disrupt the discourse of justice as we are talking about. So I think it's important that, and it is also said that there can be no denying that the fact that disclosure of official version of the investigation would ensure against speculation on crime reporting. Thus, there is a need to have a uniform policy which can be adopted for notifying nodal officers who would be available to share the stage of investigation. So they are saying that, we are doing it to benefit, enhance the democracy more, that have the right opinion, have the right to information, then you can create a public opinion, that is fine. But creating public opinion on information, that is actually not true.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking in some cases the police has to, it is required in those cases when the situation is so tense that you have to come and speak to the, to the media and the people. 48 hours sometimes is too much.
Too much.
But at the same time, I understand where the Supreme Court is coming from, but I don't think there can be a set way, because each news story that comes is unique. The person who's presenting it, the person who's producing it, the person who's executing it is not the real hero. The story is the real hero, and all heroes in the newsroom are unique. We have to treat them in a unique manner, in a unique way. Of course, we can have some sort of a template, but I still feel the basic principles of ethical journalism are good enough to understand what is a media trial and what is not a media trial. One, it's about just crossing that little boundary or not. But There are many out there in the industry that I feel don't even know where that boundary is.
Yeah, I think it's the responsibility of the media as well that what we decide to
No,
give
certainly,
out.
certainly.
When we are the mediators, we cannot be formulating, half-baked information and mending it according to our opinion, and that is not what anybody should do or any media person should do. But I think Supreme Court's guideline is maybe, I don't think so. If there is going to be a proper, reform, or if the media trial stop, is there going to be a difference? If there's going to be, there's no disruption in the course of jurisdiction, something that I would like to see.
Well, let's wait and find out what
Yeah.
these guidelines are going to be, because the Supreme Court has told the government to set up a few guidelines to prevent media trials.